welcome back, Socialist gamers. Thank you for joining us back in this playthrough of Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. Our town of Leninsk is doing quite well. I should say budding town, since we just have one building. We do have quite an active gas station, as well as gravel industry, in addition to this oil production zone. And if you remember last episode, we were able to successfully set up this area, affectionately termed Cropville, which is raising crops to be later converted into food and alcohol. And we can see that our tractors are just about finished plowing these large fields. I did notice that we do have a construction office that is constructing some of these roads, but I forgot to buy dumper trucks. Although we have a source of gravel, we don't have a dumper truck to transport the gravel to the work site. And so we will fix that now, and off our dump trucks go. The other thing that I noticed is because our gravel processing plant does not have workers, we are not able to unload the stone from our dump trucks, and we cannot supply workers with our minivan as it can't enter. So in order to counter this, I will go ahead and create a bus stop. We have a footpath here, but by creating this bus stop, I can make sure that there's nothing blocking access to workers. And we can auto-build. Perfect. I'll turn off this option, and well, we'll need this for the footpath and footpath, and now we can turn it off. Did this? This did not. Alright. And so we'll now change this bus to stopping at the bus stop once this is complete. Unload workers. Delete that. Send the bus here and delete this old one. And this hopefully should turn around. It doesn't look like it is. So I will send this guy out, and then send this guy out. Let's see what will happen. Once again, I'm playing the music that does not come with the game, so this is a YouTube playlist. And the details will be in the comments below this video. So here we go. We have our workers turning around, and we should now be able to supply our processing facility. There they go, and now this should be fixed. Good. So that's an example of why you need to build a bus stop, even though you could directly put workers into the building. Transport them, I should say, but that did not work in this case. So the other two things I was going to do in this episode is expand our agricultural zone and consider building an oil processing facility. As you can see, it takes quite a while for these fields to grow, and we know that we will need an area, additional areas for crops in order to grow meat and livestock. So we might as well put them down now, especially since we have all of this territory, nice flat fertile land that we can put all of these structures in without worrying too much about constraints. So I'll pause the game and start this process. I'll try to extend this road, and this time I'll orient the big crop fields vertically to save a little bit of space. Before we do that, we want to plan out our space. I left very little space for industry here, so just remember that one of these will be used to build a food factory, and the other one will be used to supply a distillery. And I'll have a train come in 2 ways, one from here and one from there, to collect those goods. For the meat industry, I would like to have a more integrated setup where I have 2 farms, feed crops from crop storage into 2 livestock farms, and then they coalesce into 1 livestock holding pen, going down to a single slaughterhouse and single meat storage. The reason for that is because if you look at the food option, you can see that a livestock farm can produce 5 tons of livestock per day, but my slaughterhouse processes a maximum of 250 tons of livestock. So there's a huge difference in efficiency. I don't really want to build more than 2 livestock farms, though, even though the slaughterhouse can handle it. So I think 2 is kind of the minimum that I would like to have, to ensure that I don't waste a lot of workers. So let us extend this road, and then just remember that our train tracks are going to go along this power line, the large power line, likely cross over here, and we'll continue on down along the river. So we'll be able to have a spur that goes down here, and probably one that branches off here. So this one will take care of this area, and this one will take care of this area, so then I can have it continue on down here, which we'll likely need for other industries, since we have a large area here that's available for us later. So I was thinking of having it come in and pick up meat over in this area, so that means that this particular zone can be used for more farm fields. So let's do this again. We want to recreate maximum efficiency where we have our farms in a central location with fields surrounding them. We also have to take into consideration that we need a fire station. So what I'll do is, I don't want to build a fire station separately for this area. I will essentially put a fire station down here, and we'll follow that up with army processing industry, bus stop, and likely another gas station, since it's not realistic to have 1 gas station to supply all of this massive area. Okay, so that is the plan, and let's get to it. So let's go to our farm fields and see how many we can fit in. That's pretty straight, as we have come to learn. So I don't know why the game is being so finicky. I'm gonna have to restart my computer after this just to see if it's some kind of a glitch. I did restart the game, but it still keeps being extremely finicky when it comes to just this farm placement. It's fine with placing other buildings, but it's been quite difficult. So that will be 4. We'll put down our road. So we'll put this here and here, but I don't need this little piece, so we'll delete that. Set down a nice cheap gravel road that gives us a little bit higher speed than the dirt road. Same thing here and here and here. Alright. And now we should definitely put a fire station. So 1 more over here. And this we can supply directly with a... I don't need to have a bus station, since this is going to be the only structure here, so we can directly put a minivan. Putting workers in here, much like our ore processing facility. We will need to plan for an electric substation to make this run. We can put that like so. Whoop. Alright. And then I was thinking of continuing this on down. And this will really depend on how much space we need for our fields. So since we're putting down 2 additional farms, I want a minimum of 8 fields per farm. So we can put 4 farm fields. So that doesn't look terrible. And then we just need 4 more. And that can be accomplished down here. So this would work if I wanted to, yep. But all our industry is going to go in here. So we will plan for orienting them vertically. Oh no, this is very straight. That's a bit better. Alright. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Perfect, so we have 8 each, and now we can start planning building our 2 agri-farms and meat supply. So, if we go to our food and crop menu, we can see the agri-farm, which should be familiar from last episode. I will zoom in. So I want this to have a connection facing down for my grain storage. So here's our first grain storage with a road connection. And then this will connect to the livestock farm, which is quite big. And just remember, I want all of these to be connected directly so that I have passive transfer of goods, so I don't need to rely on trucks or forklifts. And then this will feed into our livestock collection. So let's see, so we'll have another one coming in here. So we can do this. And the other thing to keep in mind is I will need workers for many of these facilities, so I also want to see if I can get just 1 bus station to supply all my workers instead of breaking them up. So this was the farm, and I need a range. The range does not need, the range does not need any workers, it's just a holding pen, basically. So I can probably do this. And then we finish out this 1 branch. I have a slaughterhouse that has 2 connections, so the only connection I can do is that. And then meat storage. And the meat storage will have to be connected to a road cargo station. I'm sorry, a train cargo station. It can be a road cargo station, but we're going to transport it by train. Let's see. Nope. 1 more. There we go. Perfect. We'll just put this. Alright, so that should complete that. So we'll have agri-farm, grain storage, feeding our livestock farm, livestock going to our holding pen, Farm livestock, slaughterhouse, meat stored, and train coming in with loading. So we'll just recreate this part through here. So we'll work backwards. We'll put down another livestock farm as it's quite big. I don't need the farm to be connecting to the station since I'm not going to export livestock, just meat. So, and I do need road access. So yeah, I think this we have no choice but to turn it like that. So hopefully that will work. Yeah, that'll do that. Oops. There. And then we have our second agro farm, which will have to go in like that. Let me delete this. Let's fit in the agro farm first. So whatever is closest for it to fit. There we go. We'll try grain storage, which can go. This is a row, so it can go either way. That's fine. I'm not sure why this terrain's so. Oh, I'm not sure why that terrain's so uneven, but. And now let's see if we can fit the livestock farm, which is quite big. I really want to fit this in. Let's delete this. So again, I think you can see here how working in construction mode really pays off. So if I do that, can I fit in this grain storage? I'm having some trouble here. So we're close, but no cigar, so let's try again. Livestock farm. And the problem is it's such a big structure, so if we bring this all the way out here. This, yeah, there we go. And we still need to flatten. Alright, and now we have a road connection to here. We'll run a road through here. And here, and here, and there. And one through here. And again, basically these roads, we just need these roads for fire trucks to get to, so we're not really going to use them. And if we look, we need employees to go to all three of these structures. So let's see, we can't. This is too short, so that's fine. They can just go by road. And we can actually put this over to here, over to there. And this way we'll be able to accomplish my goal of having just one bus stop supply all three industries. Which is nice because then I can send one bus, I don't have to split it up. And so that just makes me happy since I can be efficient with my resources. And it also makes it easier just to keep track of everyone. Alright, and then they can walk by this road and then use these footpaths. That should do it. Oh, we do need a gas station. So we'll just put one over here, similar, small gas station, similar to the one we have up north. And now we'll provide all our farm vehicles with fuel. And we then just need to figure out how to bring power down here. So, let's see if we have any room for a substation that powers everything. So we don't really have any roads. This is the only road here. So let me zoom out just a little. So yeah, we can put this. Yes, so we can put it that way. We'll power everything there. So this will work. I know I said in the first intro not to try to not put substations to power a lot of structures, but again, even though this is a lot of structures, really only these three, the slaughterhouse and the 2 livestock farms, have workers and are producing work. All the other stuff is basically passive, so this should be able to handle it. So I can... Oh, and then we will actually, I think, yeah, we'll be able to save on this, because we won't need it. Perfect. And I think this will allow me to split my power line up here. The medium voltage switch, hopefully, because again, we're not doing a lot of work. Save on having to put in a whole new infrastructure with, you know, getting high voltage power lines down to a spot and building a transformer like we had to do with many of our other sites. This is a little tight, but I think we should be good. Yeah. Perfect. And then... Yep. Yes. See, I really like how a plan comes together. And then, we're not going to build this right now, but basically we'll have a train. And this can be a grade crossing because these are just access roads. There's not going to be any traffic that the train will block. Alright, so I think we can finish this. Pay for all of these. Yeah, this is the part that gets annoying as always, since we just have so many things we have to finish. Otherwise, we're not going to be able to get any transportation, and farm vehicles won't be able to reach our farms. Oops, what was that? Alright, I'm not going to finish train station since we're not going to use it, but I'll finish pretty much everything else. We don't have a train yet, so I'm just going to hold on to that money. Okay. Did this connect? I don't think this connected with my factory connection. Oh, too steep of an incline. No, don't do this to me, game. Let's see if we can lower it. I did not... Oh, I already paid for it. Oh, boy. No. Best laid plans, I tell ya. Alright, so... let's make sure... that should take care of it, hopefully. And let's try again. Oh, we have to delete this. Where's my connection? Why is it being so finicky? Alright, let's try one more. Flatten, 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 flatten. Come on. You can do it. Oh, oh. No. Yeah. Oh, oh. Alright, there we go. So, not much to look at, but it will do the trick. And I've done all of this without having to rely on forklifts. And I can get by with one bus station, so, you know, it's something you can live with. Although I would not necessarily show it off. But that's just it. That's basically part and parcel of this particular game. Again, as I said before, I came from City Skylines to this game because that was the last city builder I played, and I was horrified at the lack of straight lines and just the overall rough edges, but you know, I think if nothing else, it fits well with the theme of a Soviet Republic. It's as practical as you can get, people. Alright, so we're almost done. A lot of roads. Each time even if you create a long straight road, each time you intersect it, it splits it up into new sections. So that's part of the reason this is taking so long. Let's see. I'm not sure why we left this area, so we can probably... Oh, let's see if we can... Oh my god, we can actually fit in more fields. Alright, let's do it. So we can fit in 4 more, and that will actually bring us up to a much more competitive farm size. One, 2, 3. Perfect. And we'll leave this as is in case we need to put something down there in the future, which I doubt, but you never know. So we have 8, 12. So we have 24. That means we can put 12 down, and that means we'll definitely have excess crops, and we can use the excess crops to export. So because I'll make one change. This is not set up for export. The only thing this will export is meat, but I should have a way of exporting crops. So what I'll do is I'll get rid of this for a sec. I'll create one more grain storage. Let's see. No, that's fine. So it can go like that, though. We can still... Good. And we should still be able to... Yeah. Perfect. There we go. So the reason I did that is I said that if any excess crops, I want to export for industry, namely the chemical industry down the line. Now, I don't want to build yet another agri-farm complex for solely just crops. So in my experience, this will, given the number of farms we have, this setup will give us excess crops anyway, so I will have we'll set up a system for putting excess crops from these when they're not being used into here, and then the train can come in periodically and empty this out. And this way, again, the trucks will facilitate this transfer from these two storage areas to this one, but then I don't need a forklift or anything to actually load the train. Okay, so we just have to assign our farms. Oh, I already did that, so I'm going to X that out. I don't want it to do automatic. So this is... oh, and let's rename our... So we have Cropville up here, so keeping with that theme, I'm going to do an equivalent Russian name, will be Agroprom 1, because that'll give us an idea, just from the name, of what this area does. So Agroprom, so agro obviously agriculture, and prom for industry. So crop industry. Perfect. Oh, I don't think I did. Nope. Let's try this one more time. Oh, I don't know why it's not there. Agro from 2. Keeping with our naming convention. Alright. And we just need to set this up. So, yeah. So, this guy can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll give it 9, 10. And then this guy can take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is it not, alright. Why is it not, giving me that option? That's odd. I think this is connected. So let's see. Number two. So we have 4, 8, 10. Let's just start over. I got a little bit off track there. So this guy can have... I don't understand why it's not selecting. Is this not a farm? Why did this... So this renamed something else, alright? So you're gonna be Agroprom 3. I don't... No, this is fine. So why are you not... this must be another little quirk. I am not sure why. Let me reconnect. Might not be recognizing that there's a connection, maybe? If it's not connected, I know it won't actually allow me to connect you. Still no, what? I'll just rebuild this. This doesn't cost money. I'm not sure what's going on here. So that one, and that one. So that should work now. Yep. Early access, that's all I can say. So we'll do these. Alright, so then these. And all of these belong to this guy. Yep. And just as before, we need to supply them with equipment. So you remember 3 tractors to 4 harvesters to 4 covered trucks. Oh, and same thing. Alright, perfect. So I'm quite happy with how this worked out. We'll just finish this meat truck. I'm not going to supply any workers to here just yet. We did not finish the substation, so this should... Yep, here we go. So that's how we know we're working. We have our tractors coming out. I was saying I was not going to put people down here just yet. I want to accumulate a bunch of crops before I actually start growing livestock, but I will plan on using half of my capacity for the livestock farm and the minimum capacity for the slaughterhouse since it's so efficient. And because of that, we'll, when we finally do get this started, so we can see our workers are able to go to all 3 sites, which is awesome. We'll only want workers here, so no passengers, no students, and the slaughterhouse should get the least amount of people. Yep, done. So that is hopefully the last agricultural area that we need to set up. We'll just have to see how it goes, but in my experience, this should bring out plenty of crops. Alright, so we do need to supply this fire station with workers, so we need to buy a fire truck, speed 10, 5 people, and we do need to make sure it has a connection, otherwise I cannot get workers down there. So this should be the last. Oh, so this is the here you can see the gravel being delivered by the construction office, and this is a little bulldozer constructing my road. That would take way too long, and so we'll just finish this with money at this point. A key point is that if you look, these are 2 different sections of road because the game divided them. I think you can only go to a certain length of road before it automatically splits it up into sections. But the construction office can only build the section that it has access to. So in other words, it has to build this road first before it can start this road because there's just no way to get people and equipment to there. And so because it's built serially, it can really take a long time. I'll just let it build all this stuff here for free, since this is easier to get to, but yeah, this will have to wait. So, and you can see that it's already started building this little loop. So we'll let them do that. So this road is finished. We have to create 1 more bus route, so we'll go ahead and buy another minibus for 7 passengers, and then we'll send it to pick up only educated workers. We need 5, so yeah, when you decrease these, when you decrease it from 100, they always end in 9, and if you increase it, then it ends in 0. I don't know why. That's the developer. That's how the developers designed this game, and there's no other numbers that you can select. So you can't put 75%. Why that I don't really know. And that's just the way it works. And you get used to it, much like everything else in this game. Okay. And this just goes direct to the fire station. Oh. And that should work. So let's just take a look. And unpause. Are we following? Yeah, there we go. There's our little glorious minibus. The squarest minibuses I've seen. There's our bus that's taking... Oh, there's our bus taking people to... It should be our bus, yeah. The other bus heading the other way was taking people to our gravel processing. And we are nearly there. We have this construction office truck going to probably get gravel. And as the sun sets, we can see that we're getting ready to transport our workers to our other fire station. This is a very low number of firefighters. I'll have to see why. We're getting held up by this construction equipment. Might as well check our store out. Still doing well. Pub. Doing well. Oh, and there's another road being built. Good, good. Save us money. And there we go. And we loaded up our workers. And so now it's telling me it can't get... so this question mark symbol means it cannot get to its destination. Which is a bit odd, but if you click on this, it'll tell you why. Which was a feature they added since before this came into being, you would just know that it couldn't get to your destination. The next destination that it was listed on its route, but you didn't know where. So it looks like this part of the road is not finished. Let's see if that took care of it. That was a relatively small fix. And yep, so no more question mark, and it's on its way. Fair enough. So, I think, do we have any crops yet? No. So it's building without power supply. Building with, oh. I didn't see, that's a good thing we looked. Alright, so now we have lights on and power. Good. So we're still growing our crops. We have not harvested any. Alright. So I am happy with this plan. We do have gravel. We don't have this crazy traffic happening. We have people working. How is our school doing? We don't... So, we still keep having trouble with teachers and firefighters. So, I don't even have... The fire station is included in this. I would probably need to get more workers, although... Yeah, because I think finally, it does not have a sign that, workers, that there are workers without jobs, so I think what we can do is import 5 more expert teachers and basic education, 10 people. Alright, so we'll see how that goes. And now let's try to plan one more thing, and that would be our oil refinery. So before we get to the oil refinery, I'm a little bit concerned that this oil is going up pretty slowly. In my experience, if these pumped with more efficiency and had higher quality sources, this would be much faster. We are making money, so we're exporting $4,000 worth of oil, and then importing 1,700, and yeah, the stuff we're importing is electricity, fuel, and all this other stuff. And fuel, you can see, is actually our first highest commodity, followed by power. So what I was going to do, if you look at the connections, you'll notice that the storage tank has 2 inputs and 2 outputs, and we're using 1 input for this oil industry area up north. That leaves another input unused. And so I was going to see if I can put down the same setup, so 3 more pumps with a pumping station to pump in more oil so that we're assured we have enough for both export and for use by our oil refinery to make bitumen used in construction and fuel for our vehicles. So, let's take a look at where our oil is. Let's see if this is worthwhile. So yes, a bunch of Again, none of it is great, but I think that's just a feature of this map. Yes, so, yeah, we can make this work. Again, we lose efficiency, but, again, there's nothing we can do about that. So we don't want any overlapping sections, and so this would work. Alright. So now we just have to make sure we have a road connection, again, for if a fire breaks out. It's pretty perpendicular. That's crooked, but that's pretty perpendicular. Good. So now we'll have a plan for a pumping station. So again, we'll use this, 3 inputs into 1 output. And I'll have, I don't think I can get by with, we'll see if we can get by with 1, but I think I'm going to have 1 pumping station here and 1 here. And then we'll run it along this north part of the high voltage power line, and the rails will go down here. So, go all the way over here. So that's the end of the pipe length restriction, which is fine. So now we should be able, hopefully this will be fine. So again, this is a road, so we have to go up using the E key, and over, and down. Too long. Yeah, I think I just missed it. Let's see. So instead of making it straight, let's see if we do something like this. E over. Still not. Just almost there. How about... See, I'm really struggling here. I think it's literally off by just the smallest amount. Let me try one more thing here. It's the total length that matters. Nope. So yeah, it's literally off by just a couple of feet. So we'll just reposition this. Now that should be sufficient. Put down a road for fire access. Now, this one should be straightforward. So E over, across, under ground level. Yep. All right. Yeah, so there's no way that this, if we couldn't get this one to this one, there's no way that we can push this through, so I will have to use another pumping station before I do, well, now I'll use this single input to 3 outputs in case we want to output this to something else down the line. Yep. And so we can see here with our handy guide. I'm going to turn the auto build option off. And we can finish this pipe using our usual E over ground level, and done. Alright. So then we have to place our substation. So there's no spot that'll power everything, which is fine. Is there a spot to power? Yes, we can just use that. And then we'll probably need another one to power this, but let's look to see what's going on. Where is our station? Yeah, it's just... no, that's fine. So then let's look at our oil industry, oil refinery. So if I zoom in, you can see that the oil refinery takes in two inputs, shown on the left, and has multiple outputs. If you hover over this, it produces both fuel and bitumen and a little bit more fuel. Bitumen is used in construction to combine with gravel to make asphalt, while fuel is obviously used to provide energy to vehicles. And this uses 250 tons of oil. This stores bitumen and oil, as you can see, where it says oil tank export, but bitumen is stored less. And if any one of them reaches max, you're not going to produce the other one. So in other words, if you have too much fuel and you can't export it and it's full, you're not going to produce any more fuel or bitumen. So what I usually do is hook up storage tanks like these and denote one bitumen and one fuel. And then that also makes it easy for my vehicles to know where to get fuel and where to get bitumen. And we'll also plan eventually a rail terminal for oil fuel loading and unloading. And as I've remarked, the rail will run to the south end of this power line, so let's actually put that in for our planning. So under the rail menu, we'll basically just create a single track. Since I keep talking about it, I want to make sure I don't forget it. And then here is the terminal. So we have two ins and two outs. So I can either load or unload items. I'm not planning at this moment to have anything for unloading. So I think we can just safely go with inputs. So we can place this and then create a little rail section for trains solely dedicated to this building. And so if we work backwards, we know that we will need to have storage of fuel and bitumen. My main road is here, so I'll want this right tank be fuel, and this left tank will be bitumen. So I need an input and an output, so yeah, we can just do it like that. Alright. Then we will need to have a road for connection of all these structures. So this one we will have to so that it can exit. Perfect. And that will go there. And now we can create our pipe. And again, over. Perfect. E over. Yep. And I'll probably make a bridge to make sure we don't interfere with any of the structures. So this will be our first bridge. And since we're setting up a rail section, I will also need to create a new energy supply, since I don't want to take I don't want to overload this transformer. So we'll have to replace our pipe. over, and this should be able to go to ground. Alright, now a bridge does require that the road be absolutely straight. You can't have a road enter the bridge at an angle. There are multiple choices. Build steel, wood, prefab, concrete, brick. I generally like the prefab. It's kind of a good bang for the buck. It's not terribly expensive, and it's a regular Soviet-style bridge. Alright. Perfect, so there's our little bridge. We can continue our road. This is our access road. And so we're ready with everything, or most things, except for the oil refinery. So that will come here. Let me angle this a bit better. Oh, and we'll need to feed another, feed our input from up there. So let's see, is this straight? Or is this just workers in Soviet Republic straight? I mean, you really do have to admit that this game gives a whole new meaning to making sure that everything lines up. I think they deliberately excluded right angles. Alright, so that works. This goes down here. I don't think we need this section of the road just yet. And then we can make this curved. Since I feel like I've been neglecting my curved roads. I will make a bus stop just to future-proof this. I mean, I could certainly load my factory direct, but you know, in case we put issues down here, I'm fine with putting down a bus stop. And since these footpaths are pretty far away, it's fine if we just leave the road as the entrance, because the workers will just be able to walk. Alright, so we just need a power, and also need to bring down the oil for input. So we can go to our pipe. So again, we can use the single input to 3 outputs. So let's see. Good, so it already makes a connection for us. We can just put it down here since I need to build this access road. The usual fire access road. Delete that, and then final pipe connection. That's not too bad. Alright. She looks realistic somewhat. Alright, and now electric substation. So yeah, so this is probably the most number of things that would power, especially with the industry. And we are able to power this guy, so that's what I wanted to do. And we can, let's see, so we want this face this way. And come out here. And then we will need a transformer right there for our large wire to enter. And then if we can hopefully get some semblance of a straight line, I will be happy. Building in the way. Why would that? So I think that should just about finish everything, so let's see how she goes. Let's see, so we need to, we still need to supply power from the transformer up here to this guy. Okay. This pipe. All of these guys. And the large power lines, and I'm not going to put the rail in just yet, since that's one of the most expensive items in the game. So I'll leave that for when we actually have serious plans to start rail service of some sort. For now, we're still just collecting resources and getting our own minimal stuff up to speed. Alright, let's see if this part here is working. So I can see that started working fast. So we see we have power because this guy's going up, down, this guy's moving, so is this guy. Our oil efficiency is not great, but you can see how we are exporting oil, since once we reach 0.5 tons, the number goes down, so all three are exporting oil through here and here, and it's all ended up in our oil tank. Good. So now we'll finish all of this stuff. I'll probably, since we're not using this, I won't finish this. I'll just finish the storage, since we can accumulate our products. And this we have yet to construct. So, and then of course all this stuff. And alright. That looks complete. We do have power. So we said that this will be fuel and this will be bitumen because this guy is closer to the road. And we can just wait to see how this goes. And we might as well go ahead and buy a bus to supply workers. So, I believe we went with this bus. So we will pick up our workers at the bus station. We only want workers with an education. And pick up, I believe this is 80 workers, yeah, 80 passengers, so we can pick up half and drop down here. And we only want passengers and I'm sorry, we only want workers who will go to this factory once it's complete. Alright, and this is finishing. Let's see, while that's going, let's just make sure all the other stuff is working. So these guys are making gravel. We have 141 tons, good. Did our school work now? I think my next project is to make sure that the school works. Kindergarten works. I don't know why this school does not. We do have educated people. people just refuse to go to the school. And I can't, there's no option to make people with different education work at different places. So we'll have to put, alright, so we'll have to deal with that. Let me just look at the agricultural area. So, do we have crops? No. But we are growing. And this area, I'm sure, is too new. Yeah, we're still plowing fields. But it's in progress. And there's our bus. And let's see. No, I think I like this a little bit better. So we have our bus stop, our oil refinery, and our little oil derrick in the background. So we're almost done. So we can actually launch our bus, since it's going to be a little while until it does get to its bus station. And this, we said we would do 40 people for now, since we don't have that much oil, and see how it goes. Perfect, and we are importing oil from our oil tank up here. And we will have all our citizens work at the oil refinery. And good. Do we have 40 people at our bus station? No. So what I will do to finish is, this episode is to finalize this building, since we do need to account for more workers for both our school and the oil refinery. So I'll make this much less complicated. So these guys will either go to the school or the bus stop. The school will be 20%. I'll import 5 more exports. And so hopefully that will fix this perpetual school issue. And now we have workers waiting with our bus approaching. And here we go. This is, yep, our refinery bus. Heading off into the sunset. And this is our construction bus. Oh, must be doing something over there. And we do have firefighters. And we finally have a teacher. Yep, I think they're finally heading up there. Come on. Come on. Oh, I need to tell the kids to go to the school. Not that they're teachers, but they'll still go there. Kindergarten. Alright, so we can increase the staffing of the kindergarten and tell people to work there as well. That'll be third priority. Alright. Where is our bus? I think that was it, actually. I think it was getting fuel. I think it's this guy. Yep. Now we can just watch as we slowly make our way to our glorious new Soviet oil refinery. And we should be good on travel time. I'm going past our fabulous domestic power lines, as well as our vehicle depot, which is empty at the moment. And heading down our road past Gravel Hill. Down our gravel road. And past our oil export vehicle. Gotta make those dollars. Oh, speaking of which, we've actually, we're back to within a couple of dollars of 2 million, so we've made back all of our money. Given the fact that we were importing everything for our citizens' needs, that's not half bad. So here we go, under the pipe, over our bridge, made with Soviet labor. And coming in is our inaugural shift of workers for our glorious oil refinery. You can feel the excitement. The air is still with excitement. And there we go. We have fuel. A momentous occasion in the history of our glorious Soviet Republic. I think we'll end right here. Thanks again for joining. I hope you enjoyed this episode and found it useful. I hope to see you back for our next playthrough of Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. До свидания.